Now by the government's Agriculture Minister, Barnaby Joyce. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Barnaby, are you worried that the Chinese government is looking to invade us?
No. No, I'm not worried about that in the slightest. And I think it's really dangerous what Senator Lambie has said. We've got to realise that once they get the honour to wear that little red pin in their lapel, you've got to be a bit careful what you say. Are those comments at all going to help? No. Are they factual? No. Are they in any way, shape or form something that's going to facilitate closer relationships with our biggest trading partner? No. Why did you say them?
Well, when Ben asked her yesterday how we can preempt this invasion that apparently China is in danger of encroaching on Australia with, Jackie Lambie replied, "We certainly need to look into missiles." What do you think of that suggestion?
Well, absurd, bizarre, and, you know, you always try to give people who are new in politics some space. You understand that everybody makes mistakes at times, but when Clive made an absolute clanger, just a bizarre statement, there should have been the discussions within the party of finding quickly a position of retraction of that statement, because we're trying to negotiate with our largest trading partner an agreement that helps the Australian people, that facilitates a greater flow of income back into Australia. In agriculture, this means more money across the kitchen table to Australian farmers. For the Australian people itself, it means the bigger the trade becomes, the more we can build the roads, the schools, the hospitals. It's obviously in our interest to make sure that we have a strong bilateral arrangement. If negotiations are tough with a certain organisation, then negotiations are tough. That's how business is. Well, and Clive should understand that.
Sorry, Jackie Lambie is in charge of defence for the Palmer United Party. Do those comments indicate to you that both Clive Palmer and Jackie Lambie are racist?
It shows incredible naivety, and I think the Australian people and the people of Tasmania should contact Senator Lambie and say, look, you really got to be careful what you say now, Senator Lambie. You are a senator of Tasmania. You're one of 76 people that represent our nation, and no longer can you just talk like you might at 7:30 at the corner pub. This is not the corner pub. This is our nation. These things sound amusing when they're said after 15 beers, but they're very, very dangerous if you want to say them on national television.
But this is a senator who is holding the balance of power in our parliament. We're now starting to get a real indication of what the negotiations must be like as you are trying to get bills passed through Parliament. Give us a better indication of what it's like.
Well, I think the Australian people have seen on prime time the sort of as I said, the febrile nature and sometimes the intemperate response that you get when you're trying to negotiate a process to get the finances of our nation back on track. If we don't get the finances of this nation back on track, we go broke. I was listening to one of your reporters before talking about the mining tax, and that's a classic example of bad policy, but it's quite simple. We are piece by piece, day by day, week by week, year by year, getting further and further and further into debt. And whether it's 5 years, 10 years or 15 years, we know, Lisa, where we're going to end up. We're going to end up without the ability to pay the pensioners in Tasmania, without the ability to keep hospitals open, without the ability to defend ourselves as a nation, without the ability to pay for the pharmaceutical benefits scheme. We'll be shutting down schools. We won't be able to properly fix our roads. We won't be able to send the money to the states to maintain the police force because we will have gone out the back door. Now, we have got to negotiate so as to change that course around. And these senators are crucial to that process. So if you truly believe in the defence of our nation, then give us a budget that allows us to defend our nation, not one that sends us out the back door. And also make sure that our major trading partner, who we rely on for the trade so that we can earn the taxes to pay for the government services, that we're not insulting them. Because I've got to wander over to China for the APEC discussions in September. And I've got to meet my counterpart, Minister Hahn. I've met Minister Gao, about trying to make sure more Australian product goes to China which the Chinese people pay for, and by reason of them paying for it, we actually earn the money to increase our standard of living. Now, think about those things before you say it, Jackie.
Yeah, well, under the current circumstances, we wish you a lot of luck with that. And I must say, Barnaby Joyce, we all remember the days when you were considered the slightly crazy uncle of the Australian Parliament. They do seem like a long time ago. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
Good on you, Lisa. See you, mate.
I say that with affection.